as you. And if you haven't healed it within yourself, how you healing me?
It's so crazy because my therapist said once, and this is just like putting it into context. She was like, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm someone that I wish I had when I was younger." And she was like, "How do you know if you're doing it correctly if you haven't practiced on yourself?" So, like, where are you drawing that inspiration from? Where are you getting that practice from? How are you flexing that muscle? So for you to say you got to heal yourself first before you can start healing other people, that's a word right there, because it's the truth.
And I didn't go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
And not to take anything away from anybody, because here's the thing. Healing, and I always say this, healing is a forever process. There's not a one way to do it. You're not go, step 1 through 5 and you're healed. You know what I'm saying? Healing is forever. You know what I'm saying? But at least be doing the work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the important part, because there is no such thing. I feel like there's no such thing as a complete healing. You know what I'm saying? And as far as it is like I said, like a 1 through 5, like after step 5, you're healed. No, that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? But because there are people who are going through, even therapists who go through things that they're not necessarily healed from, you know what I'm saying? But they're doing the work, and they're able to give you the steps so you can do the work. And that's where it really matters. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing the work and you know, especially if you've gone through something that I haven't gone through yet, or you've gone through something that I'm going through, but I might be at 1 and you at 4, you can still kind of give some advice.
Yeah.
But when you're not doing any of the work and you're just trying to tell me what I should do, you know what I'm saying? Or not necessarily, you're having these filled conversations and discussions, but they're really empty, because you're empty, essentially. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I could have this discussion with you guys all day. It won't mean anything unless what the work I've been doing is doing this thing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like, you can have good ideas, but that doesn't necessarily make you a healer. I can have great tools and recommendations, but that doesn't mean I'm a healer. That just means I give good advice.
Right.
So then the question becomes, what makes a healer?
I believe a healer is somebody who is able to hold space and is also able to help you move yourself along. Not in enabling you and saying this is how you fix yourself, but in saying, first, there's an issue here that needs fixing. Are you willing to sit through this process and feel and be and process all of the ugly, and have moments where you can hold space, but also moments where it's like, you gotta also figure out your way. These are tools. I'm gonna show you how to fish. Go fish. Versus, I'm gonna put you on my back and I'm gonna take you to the promised land. Like, we are not Jesus.
Right.
And like, I will, not shed blood and you're gonna be new. Like, that's not how this works.
How it works. I think it's also important to say authentically hold space, because there's so many people, I'm here for you, saying this is an open environment where we can grow and learn, and you don't really mean it. Because if I say anything that goes against what you think or what you feel, now we're at odds. That's how you can always tell when someone's not authentically in their gift. You know what I'm saying? I can't disagree with you because you're the all-knowing, almighty, all-seeing, and anything I say, because this is your platform, or this is, that's how you know. Like, it should be to where, because we're all learning and all growing, I might have a little more experience than you, but I should be able to learn from you as you learn from me.
And even the so-called broken person can hold you accountable for your own healing. Which I think is a lot of the issues that I encountered in all of the relationships that I had, is that, when it started being like, wait a minute, you've repeated this thing so many times, but you're still there.
Can relate to that.
Or they'll say, you're moving too fast. You're leaving me behind.
Right.
And there's two things to that. It's accept the process where you are, but also why are you comparing yourself to me and where I am with my healing?
Right.
Why do you want me to slow down my healing for you to catch up? Are you doing the work to catch up?
And now that I'm in a place of healing, is your admiration, like, is what you're presenting admiration or a little bit of jealousy because I'm actually doing the work? And you
Sometimes I've been resented. I agree.
Really?
I have been resented for being able to quote unquote jump hoops through my healing, but it's because I'm not scared of being in the absolute darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Know what it feels like. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you don't know all of the places that I have been in, all of the darkness that I have encountered. What you may think is like the scariest shit is nothing to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm able to jump into that part and be like, all right, this is ugly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to sit in this and I'm going to face it head first because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
Why do I want to run from that? You know what I'm saying? But don't be angry at me because I've had some different traumas than you that make me a little more resilient. Because everyone sees the Instagram reel, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, she's doing all of these things and she's whatever. But it's like behind the scenes, do you know all of the things that I've had to go through to be right here?
Church. Church.
You know, it's, you know, it's usually men who have that issue. That's like, oh, but you're like fearless. And it's like, no, I've just been traumatized a lot. And I've done the immense and hard work. Like no one has realized that there has been years of crying and screaming and ruining relationships and being isolated and being in my house laid and not showering. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's great on the outside, but like, ask the real questions. How did you get here? Versus like, oh, this looks amazing.
I literally had a guy, I was, I go through these spurts of, we all go through them, but I go through these spurts of sometimes not knowing, okay, what to do next, where I'm going. And I feel really disconnected from the world. You know what I'm saying? Like I will shut down and feel disconnected. And I remember talking to this guy, he was just like, disconnected? You're on Facebook every day. What do you mean you're disconnected? I'm like, that has nothing to do that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. Like me being on Facebook has nothing to do with being connected to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a very surface level idea of what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like, when I say I feel disconnected, that means I don't know, like literally there are times when I go on Facebook and people are posting about something and I have no clue
what's going on.
And that's what I mean. Yes, I post stuff, but I'm in my own little bubble where I'm posting. I'm not going to other people's pages. I'm posting because, I'm trying to, build my brand, but that has nothing to do with me feeling disconnected from the world. And it just made me kind of look at him a little differently. Like, why would you say, like, why, what does that have to do with anything? Facebook, you give Facebook what you want to give Facebook. You can put on, and not that I put on a facade, but everybody's not going to go on and say, today is a fucked up day, Facebook. Okay.
Let me tell you how all these niggas have been fucked up.
Let me tell you how all these niggas have been fucked up. My account balance is negative. They told me I need, I'm not going to be reinstated for this. Like, you're not going on there and saying that shit. So, of course, you're going to see the great, you're doing so many good things, but you don't see the in-betweens. You know what I'm saying? You don't see how I'm second-guessing myself what to do next. You don't see how I'm creatively burned out. You don't see how I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do, Spirit? Like, I don't know where you want me to go. Like, I was trying to be in the back with, with the big old house and the Cadillac, quiet. And you pushing me to the forefront and say, no, daughter, you're going to be right here because this is where I want you. And even having that tug of war, like, people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Especially for me, I am not a people person. I know I come off that way. I don't like people that much.
You do come off that way.
I don't like people that much. I really don't. Okay? And so when they encounter me, they're like, oh, she be fake. No, y'all just get the good shit because, like, you get the good shit, but
I like people on the internet.
There you go.
Not in person. Calm down.
I don't want to talk. Gone now. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I'm very much an introverted person. I'm very much, you know what I'm saying? I have a lot of social anxiety that doesn't come across on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can't help that it doesn't come across on the internet. It's there, you know. And I'm even careful about titles that I give myself for that reason. You know what I'm saying? I definitely feel like there are some healing aspects to, you know, what I do and things like that. But I'm very careful because I know that responsibility and being a healer. And I don't want anybody praising me for anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that. Like, yes, we can grow together on this journey. I don't need to be worshipped unless it's my man. You can worship me, boo. But other than that,
my concubines can worship me.
But other than that, I don't. You know what I mean? I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't want to even make it come off to seem like that because I've been in too many situations where, you know, I get seen as too good to be true or the goody to choose, and that's not what I put out there. It's
exhausting.
It's exhausting that I have to live up to this person when I just want to be like, nigga, fuck that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
your projections are not my business.
Exactly. And so it kind of, I will say, it angers me when I see that other people take that power and use it for evil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see the platform that I have and that is, you know, slowly building, but I never want to take that for granted, and I never want
that, right?
Right. I don't know what this slowly is, ma'am.
It's slowly.
I don't want to toot my horn. Toot your motherfucking horn. Okay.
It's slowly building, and I see it happening. You know what I'm saying? I recognize it, but I never want to take advantage of it to a point where I feel like, oh, you know, like I said, like,
I'm this god.
I just wanted to always be authentic. If nothing else, like, even with my poetry, I'm gonna say some flower petal type of shit, and then I'm gonna drop the F-bomb right in the middle of that shit because that's how I felt when I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be boxed in, and I feel like oftentimes people do box healers in, and then they feel like they have to play this role and be this certain type of way. No, on Monday you might get Crystal, you know what I'm saying? On Tuesday, you might get Xperience J. Wednesday, whoever the fuck show up is there. You know what I'm saying?
You might see me in a head wrap. You might see me in, like,
all those type of things. And it's like, I have great advice. And you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that I want you to, you know, worship me. And I think that there's a fine line. I guess I never want to get too big for my britches, but in the same sense, I want to get too big for my britches.
You know, be big as hell,
right?
But with good intention. I think it's always remembering our intentions.
Remembering your why. I like that. Remembering your
why. It's like why you started, why are you here, and what was your initial intention of being in these spaces and creating these spaces, you know, instead of being blinded by, like,
the so-called
temporary things. You know, it's really a 3D thing to be like, oh, all of these, like, people and all of this, people are temporary.
People are
one of them.
You know, a lot of people, it's the ocean. Like, when they're getting what they need from you, they'll be there. But, you know, I think it takes longer to build anything when you're doing it with intention, honesty, and integrity. Because I've been seen as the unicorn. Oh, I'm too good to be with, and all this stuff, and it's like, Yeah, but I'm also flawed. Like sometimes I just want to smash, bro. Like I don't need you to like put me on a. Well, you can put me on a pedestal, but
right.